Hey there, fellow Honda enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel. Here at Honda Scope, we're all about helping you keep your trusty Honda running for years without breaking the bank. Today, we're tackling one of Honda's most popular models, the CR-V. Specifically, we're diving deep into the best and worst years to buy a used Honda CR-V, all from a mechanic's perspective. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which years to seek out and which ones might just cost you a fortune down the road. Why this matters. The mechanic's angle. Now, you can find plenty of lists online about CR-V reliability, but what often gets missed is the why behind those ratings, especially from someone who's spent years under the hood. I'm not just going off consumer reports. I'm talking about first-hand experience with common failures, repair costs, and the sheer headache factor of certain generations. We're looking at powertrain issues, electrical gremlins, rust tendencies, and the overall cost to own. Our goal? To empower you with the knowledge to make the smartest used car purchase possible, saving you unnecessary trips to the shop. The golden years. Best CR-V generations and why. Alright, let's start with the good stuff. The years that truly shine in terms of reliability, minimal common issues, and overall value. From a mechanic's standpoint, these are the CR-Vs I'd confidently recommend to friends and family. First up, the second generation, 2002 to 2006. These models are fantastic. They feature the venerable K24A1 engine, which is known for its durability if properly maintained. Yes, they might have had some minor issues with AC compressors and power window regulators over time, but these are generally straightforward and inexpensive fixes. The transmissions are solid, and the AWD system is reliable. You can find these with high mileage still running strong. They're simple, robust, and a true workhorse. Next, we move to the third generation, 2007 to 2011. While the 2007 to 2009 models had some oil consumption concerns in the K24Z1 engine, especially if maintenance was skipped, Honda issued a service bulletin and often addressed it. If you find one that's been well cared for, particularly a 2010 or 2011 model, you're looking at a very reliable SUV. The ride quality improved, and the interiors held up well. Just make sure to check the service history for oil consumption fixes. And finally, a strong contender are the later models of the fourth generation, 2015 to 2016. While the early fourth gens, 2012 to 2014, had some direct injection fuel pump noise issues, by 2015, Honda had mostly ironed out the kinks. The K24W engine found in these later models is generally robust, and you get modern features without the complexity of the first-year turbo engines. They offer a great blend of efficiency and reliability. The warning signs, worst CR-V generations, and what to watch for. Now let's talk about the years that, from a mechanic's perspective, I'd approach with extreme caution, or even avoid altogether. These generations often come with known, expensive problems that can quickly turn a bargain into a financial nightmare. The first generation, 1997 to 2001. Specifically the 1997 to 1999 models. While charming, these early models are notorious for excessive rust, particularly in the rear subframe and suspension components. You'll also frequently encounter issues with the automatic transmission, which can be prone to slipping or complete failure, especially if the fluid wasn't regularly changed. The B20B/Z engines are usually solid, but finding one without significant rust or transmission worries is a challenge. Unless it's an absolute pristine, well-documented example, I'd generally steer clear for daily driving. A major red flag is the 2017 to 2018 1.5-liter turbocharged CR-V, 5th generation. This is where we saw a significant amount of the dreaded oil dilution problem, especially in colder climates or with shorter driving cycles. The fuel was mixing with the engine oil, leading to potential engine wear and performance issues. Honda did issue a software update and extended warranty, but it's a fundamental design flaw that can resurface. If you're looking at one of these, a thorough inspection and understanding of its service history regarding this issue is non-negotiable. Even then, the risk is higher. And finally, the 2007 to 2009 CR-Vs are worth mentioning again. While the third generation generally improved, those early third generation models can exhibit significant oil consumption. This isn't just about topping up. It can lead to premature wear on engine components if not managed, potentially leading to costly repairs like piston ring replacements down the line. If you're considering one, ensure you get a pre-purchase inspection that includes a compression test and a detailed look at the exhaust for blue smoke during startup. Your checklist: smart buying tips for any used CRV. So, regardless of the year, how do you protect yourself when buying a used CRV? Here's my mechanics checklist. Pre-purchase inspection, PPI. This is non-negotiable. Spend $100 to $200 at an independent mechanic you trust to put the car on a lift. They'll spot things you'd never see. Service records. Always ask for detailed maintenance history. A well-maintained car is usually a reliable one. Look for regular oil changes, transmission fluid services, and timely repairs. Check for recalls. Use the VIN to check for any outstanding recalls. Test drive thoroughly. Don't just go around the block. Drive at various speeds, brake hard, listen for unusual noises, feel for vibrations, and test all electrical components: AC, heater, windows, radio. Rust inspection. Pay extra attention to the undercarriage, wheel wells, door sills, and around the exhaust. Minor surface rust is one thing, but structural rust is a deal breaker. Fluid checks. Look at the color and level of all fluids: engine oil, transmission fluid, coolant, power steering fluid. Any murky or burnt smells are red flags. There you have it, folks. My mechanic's breakdown of the best and worst years for the Honda CR-V. I hope this detailed guide helps you navigate the used car market with confidence and land yourself a fantastic CR-V that'll serve you for years to come. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you want more expert Honda DIY tips, maintenance guides, and buying advice, make sure you subscribe to Hondascope and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. What's your experience with CR-Vs? Drop a comment below with your favorite generation or any common problems you've encountered. I love hearing from you all. Until next time, keep those Hondas running strong.